Hi, my name's Carel Nel. I'm an actor, I think. So my journey as an actor started out when I'm from Bloemfontein. I'm an Afrikaans farm boy from Bloemfontein. Acting was never really part of my mindset. I wanted to be an optometrist or a lawyer at some point. And then I was an exchange student in Germany when I was 16 years old. And the family I was living with the whole time kind of told me, you need to become an actor. You need to become an actor. And I never thought about it. And so they took me to Berlin, and I watched my first ever theater show in Berlin, which was The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And it was this crazy experience where the Hunchback, it was just an unbelievable experience for me. And while I was sitting there, I thought to myself that that's what I want to do with my life. And that's when kind of the idea of acting started out for me. And I first started off studying law after university, and certain events happened, and I decided I actually want to follow this dream, this crazy idea that I have to be an actor. And so I switched over from law and I studied drama at the University of the Free State, theatre really. And so my whole journey started out with theatre, which is for me is great because it's kind of the foundation of acting. If you look at acting and the history of acting, that's how it started with the Greeks, with storytelling, and that's what theatre is. So I moved from Bloemfontein to Cape Town. I packed all my stuff in my car, which was a duvet and a laptop or a PC, and I moved down to Cape Town and I got an agent. I was very fortunate to get an agent quite quickly, and I started auditioning for everything, and it was much harder than I thought it was going to be. So I got a commercial here and there to kind of keep it going, but I had to do all sorts of other stuff. I had my own business, which I started, which I had to run because no one was giving me work. I was the skinny guy from Bloemfontein who no one really wanted to give a chance. And then by a fluke, I was introduced to a theatre company in Cape Town called the Mechanicals. I lived with one of the actors who was in the Mechanicals, and they had someone drop out of the play, and it was a tiny role. I think I had like 5 lines in the whole play, and it was a 2.5-hour play. And they said I could join in and join the Mechanicals for this, which was, if I look back at my career now, it was quite a big thing that happened. Those 5 lines that I was able to say in that play, and that's where I met Chris Weir and the whole troupe of the Mechanicals. And so I did that, and then I was still doing all sorts of other stuff, not making a living out of acting at all. And then they decided to do an Afrikaans play for the first time as part of the Mechanicals. And Albert Maritz, the Afrikaans actor, older actor, he was going to be the director, and I auditioned for the role. I was way too young for the role. The play was called Die Rebellie van Lefras Verwy. And Albert, for some reason, decided to give me a chance as the lead in this play. And we did the play, and it did extremely well. I won a Vleer Cap for my work, and that kind of was how my career got launched, because all of a sudden you're an award-winning actor and people take notice of you. So that's kind of how I got my big break, in essence, in acting. And from there it was I just tried to do as much work as humanly possible. If it was theatre, TV, film, that's when I started going over to film in my career. I did a TV series called Flight of the Storks with a French director. It was an international thing, and for the first time I worked on a big budget international TV series, and all of a sudden my eyes opened to how the filmmaking process works, and how unbelievably exciting it is, and how intricate you could make film acting. And so this is a long story. So for me to get to that journey of getting into film and TV was quite a natural evolution. And from there I just tried to do as much work as I could humanly possible, as much work as people allowed me to do. So I worked, and this is where I am today. My advice for someone starting out is, I would say, go study, 100% study. Go find a mentor. I had a mentor at university called Herman Kamper, and he taught me. It's invaluable what he taught me, because it's just, to tell a story is, you need to understand your role within that story and how you drive the story forward in the bigger picture of the entire story. It's not about you, it's not about your character, it's about how you tell the story. And so if you can find someone that can help you, can mentor you, help you to understand new ideas and how to work in the craft of acting, I think that's invaluable. So I would definitely study something, and then once you study, don't give up. I didn't work for 2 years, 3 years in the beginning of my career. You have to believe in yourself. You have to carry on. You have to try and do as much work. If someone says, I'm doing a short film on my iPhone, and you read what they have and it's interesting to you, do it. Because the more you practice it, the better you get at it. The more you do acting, the more you act, the better you get at it. Read as much as you can. There are amazing books about acting. The Power of the Actor by Ivana Chibuk is my Bible. I read it once a year. Read about acting, watch other films, listen to interviews from actors that you admire or that you look up to, because knowledge is power. The more you know about acting, the better you'll get at it. And yeah, that's my advice to people, is just find out, be inquisitive, have an imagination, just absorb as much as you can, and then internalize it and figure out, because every single actor also has their own process. So you might listen to someone and you might listen to me, and I do acting this way and this way, but everyone has their own process, and there's no one way to act, and there's no right and there's no wrong way. And this idea about this is right and this is wrong is nonsense. Is everyone has their own way, and if it works for you, it works for you, but you need to find that way. And to find that way that works for you is by absorbing as much information as you can, and finding different techniques of acting and seeing what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And that's trial and error. And by trial and erroring is you need to work as much as you can and to trial the different stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what I think.